Okay, so another NFL season is in the books. The Los Angeles Rams defeat the Cincinnati Bengals 23-20. And I'm not trying to brag or anything, but my Super Bowl pick, the team that I picked from the very beginning, won last night. And like I said, not trying to brag, but I picked them. The story coming out of this game for me was the defenses and how hard they made both teams' offenses work. The Rams were kind of up against it from the very beginning. I did not know that their starting tight end, Tyler Higbee, was not going to play. It seemed to not really affect them too much because they were still able to move the ball down the field. In the first half, they were having much success. Matthew Stafford and Odell Beckham Jr., that connection that they developed when OBJ went to Los Angeles was showing up in the first half, and they were having success. Matthew Stafford's first touchdown was to OBJ, and then the second touchdown came and threw it to Cooper Kupp in the end zone, thinking as if he was going to block, but instead of blocking, he was able to run free to the back of the end zone, and Matthew Stafford found him. So that fooled Cincinnati. I thought both defenses did a good job of taking away the big plays from both offenses. Not saying that there weren't any big plays in this game, but Cincinnati had a couple. I thought in the first half, even though LA wasn't really hitting on those big plays a whole lot down the field, they were throwing it out of the backfield a lot and doing a pretty good job of creating yards after the catch. I thought LA's running game in the first half wasn't like whoa, but it was still it was a little bit productive compared to how it was in the second half. I thought it was a little bit more productive in the first half. I thought they should have tried Henderson a bit more, who I believe is their third string running back, because when I see him run, he runs I think he has a bit more speed, and he's not afraid to put his head down and hit the hole when there is a running lane. But Cincinnati, did a great job of stifling LA's running game, but Henderson seems to be more of a stronger back to me. Probably would have been able to churn out at least 3 yards after contact. But in the second half, the Rams really struggled, especially when OBJ went down in the second quarter. They were really up against it, and they really couldn't get anything going on the ground. Cincinnati was doing a pretty good job of keeping the ball in Matthew Stafford's hands so they can get to him and pressure him a little bit. Whenever Matthew Stafford did have a target to throw to, he would overthrow it or just completely miss the mark. And when he would try to go deep down the field for a big play, Cincinnati would have a defender on the receivers. But the defense stepped up like they've been doing all season long. They really kept them in the game, being able to pressure Joe Burrow. And I thought they did a better job of, even though I thought Cincinnati had a better night in terms of running the football, just a little bit better than LA's. As far as Cincinnati is concerned, offensively, I felt that they should have tried to get their running backs more involved. Particularly Joe Mixon was the best back to step on that field last night. Utilize him more in the passing game, and Perrine, throw it to them out of the backfield. Have your receivers run down the field, so you'll have LA's coverage drift down the field with them, and then that'll open up things underneath. Also use them in screen passes. Just try to get them in the open field and keep LA guessing, because trying to drop back and allow your receivers' routes to develop, that gives LA's pass rush time to get to the quarterback. And that happened last night. So I just felt like Cincinnati should have utilized their running backs a little bit more. If they had done that, then their chances of winning and putting up more points probably would have increased. Matthew Stafford, 26 for 40, 283 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He was sacked 2 times. I would say he had one of those, when players have games like this, I refer to them as a good and ugly, bad type of performance. In the second half, he really struggled. The second interception he threw wasn't really on him. His receiver, Ben Skowronek, it looked weird before they showed the replay. It looked like he pulled up on his route just as the ball got to him. And then they showed the replay. It still looked like that to me. Like he just kind of stopped running. It just looked weird. But the first pick he threw was on him. It was underthrown, and he was trying to throw it to Van Jefferson. Seems like every time he tries to get it to Van Jefferson down the field, it doesn't pan out too well. Cooper Kupp, one passing attempt. He was targeted 10 times, 8 receptions, 92 yards, and 2 touchdowns. When Odell Beckham went down, they got to get Cooper Kupp more involved. They have to. And on the drive that mattered, game-winning drive, they did that. Cam Akers, 31 attempts, 21 rushing yards. He was targeted 4 times, 3 receiving yards, He was targeted 4 times, 3 receptions, 14 yards total, and had another bad day. Darrell Henderson, 4 rushing attempts, 7 rushing yards total. He was targeted 5 times for 3 receptions, 43 yards total. Sonny Michel didn't get a whole lot of action. Odell Beckham Jr., before he got hurt, I thought he was playing phenomenal. 3 targets, 2 receptions, 52 yards total, and 1 touchdown. Bryson Hopkins, 4 targets, 4 receptions, 47 yards total. Van Jefferson, 8 targets, 4 receptions, 23 yards total. Ben Skowronek, 5 targets, 2 receptions, and 12 yards total. As far as the defense is concerned, they played phenomenal. Aaron Donald, the man who sacked Joe Burrow on that 4th and 1. Well, he still got the ball out of his hands, but he disrupted the play and still got to Joe Burrow. He had 2 sacks, 4 combined tackles, 3 solo tackles, 1 assist tackle, 2 tackles for loss, and 3 hits on the quarterback. Von Miller, 1 pass deflection, 2 sacks, 2 combined tackles, 2 solo tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and 3 hits on the quarterback as well. Ernest Jones, 1 pass deflection, 1 sack, 7 combined tackles, 6 solo tackles, 1 assist tackle, 2 tackles for loss, and he had 3 hits on the quarterback as well. Ashawn Robinson, 1 sack, 6 combined tackles, 5 solo tackles, 1 assist tackle, 1 tackle for loss, and 1 hit on the QB. Leonard Floyd, 1 sack, 5 combined tackles, 4 solo tackles, 1 assist tackle, 1 tackle for loss, and he had a hit on the QB. Yeah, the stars for LA really showed up. This defense really, I know it's not like a broken record, but they really played phenomenal. They came through when things were not going well for the offense. You got to give credit to this defense. And by the way, I'm sure there's some dumbass Matt Ryan haters walking around going, "You see, Matthew Stafford won his championship on his first Super Bowl trip. Matt Ryan couldn't do that. He sucked." Well, of course he did. Look at the team Matthew Stafford got to play with. Sorry. I have a disdain for Matt Ryan haters. Joe Burrow, 22 for 33, 263 yards, 1 touchdown. I thought he played well. I thought he looked good. I thought he was making plays with his legs, buying time in the pocket. You can say that he looked better than Matthew Stafford did. I thought he looked better than Matthew Stafford did. Joe Mixon, he threw a touchdown pass to T. Higgins. 15 attempts, 72 rushing yards. He was targeted 6 times, 5 receptions, and he had 1 yard receiving. Jamar Chase, 8 targets, 5 receptions, 89 yards. He beat Ramsey 1 time. T. Higgins, 7 targets, 4 receptions, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. His second touchdown should have been called back. That was an offensive interference. He clearly pulled Jalen Ramsey's face mask, so that one should have been called back. Tyler Boyd, 6 targets, 5 receptions, 48 yards total receiving. He had a huge drop pass on a 3rd down conversion in the 4th quarter. And if he catches it, who knows, Cincinnati may go down the field and put up 3 more points at least. Let's see. Mike Thomas, 1 reception, 1 target, 17 yards total. CJ Uzomah, he had a quiet night. I thought he didn't get utilized enough as well. 2 targets, 2 receptions, 11 yards total. So in terms of the passing game, Joe Mixon and CJ Uzomah should have been utilized a lot more. Defensively for the Bengals, Jesse Bates, who has been phenomenal this postseason. He had a pick, pass deflection, 6 combined tackles, 3 solo tackles, 3 assist tackles. Chidobe Awuzie, 1 interception, 1 pass deflection, 5 combined tackles, 5 solo tackles. Trey Hendrickson, who I think the best underrated pass rusher in the NFL, 1 sack, 2 combined tackles, 1 solo tackle, 1 assist tackle, 1 tackle for loss, and he had 1 hit on the quarterback. DJ Reader, he also had a sack, 1 combined tackle, 1 solo tackle, 1 tackle for loss. He had 3 hits on the QB. Logan Wilson, I thought he had a nice night as well, tackling in the open field and getting into the backfield and stifling the Rams running game. 9 combined tackles, 8 solo tackles, 1 assist tackle, 3 tackles for loss. Sam Hubert, who I also thought had another good performance, 8 combined tackles, 5 solo tackles, 3 assist tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 1 hit on the QB. Eli Apple, towards the end there, he struggled. The game-winning touchdown came against him. Then he had a flag before that play. Yeah, so this was a good game. The NFL season is officially over, and I am kind of happy to say that. That's the first time in my life that I've ever been happy for an NFL season to be done, because this felt like a grind. There were so many games to watch and so many teams to follow. It was mentally draining. So now we wait and see what happens in the draft and in the off season. Who's going to sign who's going to get fired, who's going to get traded, and all that other good stuff. So please subscribe, like, comment. I do football topics, football videos during the regular season, and now that the off season is here, I'm going to start doing some random topics. So I'm going to talk about anything that I want to, pretty much. So yeah, please hit the like, comment, subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And that is it. I am out.